Rugby is a game of passion, speed and power. Playing rugby is a great experience and a great talking point with people, and yet when asked what you do, when you answer, all you get is a glazed look of confusion. Unlike football, in which somebody naturally understands the meaning of attacker, midfielder and defender, if you say to someone you play prop or lock or outside centre, all you're doing is telling them a random selection of letters. So what I plan to do is help explain each and every position you can play across the pitch in rugby union, from the battlefield of the front row all the way to the speed machines of the wing. You will learn what it takes to play each and every position, for things like training in diets to injury prevention and tricks of the trade.
And this sorts the men from the boys. Pause, engage! And where they go again,
massive struggle there. Picked up now by Morgan, he rolls, tries to get it down, but it is a penalty try, says Nigel Owens. England have their try, the forwards have their reward.
Well, that's what they were going for. They didn't want a three-pointer or even an attempt at. They wanted that.
And England staying composed here. Wilson still in place for the drop goal. Australia come back. Here it is for Jonny. Has he done it? He sure has. Heartbreaker for the Wallabies. Is this it? And England has joined Sir Alf Ramsey's Immortals of 1966.
A rugby team comprises of 15 players, 8 forwards and 7 backs. The fly half wears the number 10 shirt and is part of the backs. He is placed in what is known as the back line, in between the number 9, the scrum half, and the number 12, the inside centre. But in one sentence, what is the fly half?
I'd say he's the general of the attack and the main decision maker.
My job as a number 10 would be decision making, leadership and direction of the team. At set piece, my job to call plays, to decide where the team goes next, and to lead the team into the right position of the field to attack and to try and either score points or relieve pressure.
First of all, you've got to be analysing the game the whole way through. So you get a scrum. Is it an exit scrum? You've got to kick out your own half. What's the best call for that scrum? If it's an attacking scrum, what's the best call? How are they defending? How are the opposition defending in terms of, are they folding players around the corner? Do you need to go and hit back to the blind side? So you're analysing the whole way through what moves you've seen in the week that could work against the opposition. But just day to day, you know, in every game you're there analysing everything and making the calls, the right calls for the team. Summing up the scoreboard. Do we need to chase a bonus point try? Do we need to get 3 points? And what are the best moves to achieve those goals?
During open plays, to try and organise those around me and to read the game situation with regard to where we are in the game, number of minutes played, number to go, scoreline, momentum and priority for the team. But in terms of general, it's organising those around me into the shape and structure that's been practised and set by the coaches.
Open play, you're an organiser, so you're dictating where the play goes. The forwards will listen to you, wanting phase calls, where you want to put them, what's your pattern of play in terms of, are you a team that goes around the corner, are you sending the forwards running off 9, are they playing off you at 10, and what positions you want your guys in. It's really a really important organisation role. You need a good set of core skills, so kicking, passing, tackling. I'd say as a 10, the main two are kicking and passing. As your core skills, you've got to be confident within yourself to be able to boss the team around and tell players where you want them to be. So your communication skills have got to be huge, and just the confidence to go through with your convictions of what you think's right, the right call at the right time. You and the scrum half are the two loudest guys on the pitch. The backs will be looking for a call, the forwards will be looking for a call from set piece, and you make the team call, whether it's a full line out, a 6-man line out, whether you're going wide, whether you're hitting short and back to the blind side. So you're the most dominant sort of figure on the field. It is, to be honest. You need a different array of kicks. You need to be able to do the crossfield kicks, the chips, the kickoffs, kicking at goal, sort of long kicks to clear your lines, all sorts of different passes, long passes, short passes. You're the guy that handles the ball with the scrum half the most in the game. So technically you need to be on the money, you need to be able to pass off both hands, kick off both feet, and be the guy that dominates everything.
Fly off, I think, would be probably the most, or one of the most technical positions to play, because normally it involves using pretty much the entire range of skills from tackling to passing to kicking, both feet, to decision making, to reading the game, to understanding, controlling a game, and to understanding the swings and changes of momentum in a game and what that means to a team.
Yeah, definitely. It's a game of chess, really, rugby is. If you're comparing things, you've got to be able to put your team in the right position. You've got to be able to outthink your opposition, to work out what moves are best at what time, how the game's panning out in terms of who's got the forward dominance, whether you've got dominance out wide in the backs. Do you need to go close to start off with to make space out wide? So yeah, it really is a game of chess against your opposite number at times. My training is as little as possible. You need to be doing a lot of homework, analysing the opposition, analysing our game, how we can improve our attack, what moves we can bring in to beat the opposition at the following weekend. And then on the pitch, you need to have all your core skills, working on those, doing extras, goal kicking, kick-offs, drop-out 22s. There's a whole array of things that you need to be practicing, but your knowledge off the field is as important as it is on it.
Training regime is normally to be very much up to date with with the details of the game plan and what's needed, and then during the week is to put that into place and inspire confidence from the rest of the team, as well as practice the individual skills of kicking, passing, tackling, footwork, agility, and anything else that comes with it.
Well, as a 10, you need to be able to do all the kicks possible. So you practice your goal kicking. You'll do 2 to 3 hours a week on that. Extras, you're kicking, you're doing kick-offs, 22 restarts, kicking for touch from penalties, kicking for touch from clearance. You need to be able to do crossfield kicks, grubber kicks, chip kicks. So you need to spend a lot of time out in the field. A lot of guys go and hit the gym, fly off, spend a lot of time doing extra skills out on the pitch. My diet, most things, but we have nutritionists here. They monitor your weight and your body fat scores. You have the parameters that you can work in. Start of the week you're limiting the amount of carbs that you put in your body. End of the week you can pick up the carbs going forward through into a game. So sometimes we're stricter than other times, but as long as you've got a balanced diet, plenty of veg, plenty of meat, and the odd plate of chips every now and again doesn't hurt.
No, the dietary kind of regime is very much an individual thing with regard to what players, how they feel best, but there are principles that ideally should be followed in terms of making sure you have enough energy for recovery, for training, for recovery, for being alert, for being hydrated, for looking after your body, making sure you're fit and healthy, and then being able to go out there and perform to your optimum.
Probably eat 4 meals a day, so a real light breakfast when you wake up. I will then go and do the school run, take my little girl to school, come in here and have a full breakfast here. So we'll have poached eggs on toast or omelette, something like that. Then we'll get a good lunch here, which involve meat, salad, a lot of vegetables as well. And then night time, not so much. A light dinner as well. So 3 to 4 meals a day. Certain players need to bulk up and eat more. Certain players like myself probably need to eat less. But it's a balance to yourself.
Difficult to say. It kind of depends on how much I'm training, but the answer would be a lot. I couldn't tell you exactly. I'm very much a person that responds to how I'm feeling body-wise and what the demands are on my body for that specific time. That even depends as we're approaching sort of April now. Here in France, the weather starts to get a hell of a lot hotter, so even that changes your diet massively. Eating less kind of heavily, but drinking more, making sure you feel light. And in a way, I've always liked to go onto the field slightly hungry, as it reflects itself in the hunger of which you play the game and want to win, as opposed to sort of overeating and feeling almost a bit lackadaisical and a bit slow.
Yeah, off season, because there's no game at the weekend, you're doing a lot more training throughout the week. So, our training's tapered in season towards a game. So you train hard at the start of the week, and then it decreases towards the end. So you're fresh for a game at the weekend. Off season is pretty much hell, Monday to Friday, sometimes Saturday morning as well. You're going, flat out every day. So your calorie intake goes up, but then so does your expenditure too. So, more is needed in the off season when you're training a lot harder. Yeah, we do a lot of rehab and prehab things to preventative exercises to strengthen muscles, a lot of core exercises, knees, a lot of proprioception work on knees and ankles. Guys also have shoulder instabilities, they'll do a lot of work strengthening that area, and these are all sessions away from the actual weights that we do in 2 to 3 times a week.
No, it's important that you use the weights room to try to replicate and to improve and to work on any movements that are important to you in the game and that you know that you'll be doing and that you want to do in the game. And at the same time also that you prepare your body for the kind of stress you're going to put it under. Someone like me that does a lot of kicking practice needs to look at the work between groins and glutes and hamstrings and quads as well as back and these sorts of things, but then also someone that has to tackle a lot of big guys, things like shoulder work, neck work, like that. It's all very, very important. There's nothing really you can leave out. It's very much a case of looking at your position, what you do in a game, what you want to do in a game, and working on that during the week so that on the weekend it becomes more instinct and the preventative stuff is in place already.
At times you are. A back rower will tell you his job's probably to get the 10 and get him on the floor as much as possible, because if the 10's the dominant link in the attack and the main organiser, if he's out of the game, then the attack can sometimes falter. So, at times you've got to be able to ride some big hits from some big back rowers. That's part of the game of chess. Avoid them if you can. Put guys into space and try and win a battle. It definitely has. If you've got the dominant scrum, your scrum's going forward. You can get clean ball from the back of the scrum. You can all be in motion as a back line, and you can get your attacking threats into play. If your scrum's going backwards or you're struggling to win clean ball from the 8, you can't then launch a first phase move where you've got 8 forwards tied into a small area and you're just going backs on backs. So it's a massive part of the game. A lot of teams base their game on their scrum these days, scrum and line out set piece dominance is key. You have to get yourself revved up, but headbutting the wall has never been my kind of thing. You've got to have a cool head as well, but you've got to have the ability to raise your game when you need to. You're a distinctive voice in the changing room as the 10, barking out orders at the forwards, because the bottom line is forwards want to be told where to go and what to do, and so you need to be confident within those orders, but cool enough to know what's the right call, what's your first call going to be in an attacking zone, what's your first call going to be in a defensive zone to clear the ball. So you get yourself up for it, revved up. You also know the physical challenges coming as well, but you also need a cool head at times.
Mentally visualise, you prepare your body. So in the change room before, and by this time all the work's been done in the gym and on the field during the week, so you should be as prepared as you can be in that state. It's very much a mental thing, going through the last few key points that will stimulate the right responses on the field, and then visualising maybe the key things that you intend to get in the game, what it's going to look like, what it's going to feel like, so that you're already there, you hit the ground running when you run out to the field.
No, I think the key thing is to keep everything constant, whether you're playing for your club, whether you play international rugby. Do the same things that you do to prepare yourself personally. You know how to prepare yourself well. If you're deviating from what you know best and what you do game on game, there's margin for error that can grow. So I think the main thing is stick to what you know, stick to what suits you. Your sleep patterns before a game, if you have the same meal before every game, the night before, pre-match meal as well, those things building up to a game are key. And for a 10 you need to be as calm as possible, but ready for that physical and mental challenge.
No, very much the same thing. Every game's the most important. It could be the last, and it's the one that you're judged on most is the next game you play. So, nothing changes in that respect, and you live the way that as a player, it's not how you play, it's how you live. That's the most important thing. And if you pick and choose your games, then you'll end up sort of hit and miss on the field as well.
For me, for the last 6, 7, 8 years, Dan Carter, he's just classy in everything he does. He doesn't seem to ever have a bad game. He'll miss the odd kick at goal at times, but then he'll bounce back with a line break. He'll put an awesome pass in to put someone into space. His general control of the game is brilliant, and he doesn't have many bad games. And as a 10, you need to be consistent week in, week out, threatening in attack, making the right decisions for your team, and he does that 9 times out of 10.
It's difficult. I can't say because there is no, for me, better and best and all that sort of thing, because guys are under different stresses with their clubs. Guys do amazing things for different teams and they react to how their team needs them, but there are obviously some great examples of fly halves at the moment, someone like Matt Gitto here and Fred Mishlak, 2 guys here that do great things for their clubs, and they're able to do anything at any time, have all the range of skills, great inspirational leaders as well. People like Dan Carter, obviously someone that has the ability to be precise at any times and make the right decisions. And young guys as well, like Owen Farrell and George Ford, that are coming through and are really starting to take the game to the next level. So there's lots of guys out there, but better, best and worse doesn't really exist, because each game is different, every team is different, and you put one guy in a different position in another team and he won't be as good as the guy before, but you put him in another structure and he'll be the best in the world.
There you go, the fly halves, the pivot points of the squad on the field. Keep looking out for more episodes of Scrummage to learn how to play every single position of rugby union.